Alright, so I'm going to show how to open up and disassemble this Lenovo. Let's see, this is a model 80XS Lenovo Ideapad 320-15ABR. Okay? Alright, so first thing we're going to do is remove all the screws from the bottom. These seem to be PH1 or JIS1 screws. So just make sure to keep them in order because they can be different size, shapes, and lengths. The way I do that is I just put them in the layout, I remove them. So I just put them with the flat side down on my table like this. And you can see there's 4 across the top here. Alright, and I like to go by rows, so I just go 4 across the top there. If you want, you can merge. Actually, no, you don't want to merge those, but whatever helps you memorize it. Alright, there's 1 over here. And you got 2 in the center here. If you're just taking out the CD drive, you only need to remove this 1 screw here. Okay, so I'll remove those screws. Once you remove this screw, you can take the CD drive out by doing this. So I use my fingernail and I just do this while I kind of pull lightly. You don't want to pull too hard, just do that and keep going. The wiggling motion will eventually release the clip. Just like that, or not the clip, the connector. So there we go. We've got the CD drive. If you want, you can replace this with a hard drive adapter, and then you can just transfer over this metal piece here as well as this plastic bracket. Then you can have another hard drive instead of a CD drive if you don't use CDs. All right, then you got 2 more screws here. And then we got 4 screws at the bottom. Okay, hopefully this isn't going to be too difficult to replace the hard drive on. Put this up here. Alright, so we got all those screws out. Now we're going to see if we can pop the cover off. So to pop the cover off, usually what I do, I open the screen. You want to open it slowly and gently because you are missing some screws that normally hold the hinge in place. Alright, and then what I do is here, the gap you can see between the silver or the lighter gray and the darker gray. Alright, so what you do is you get your fingernails or pry tool in there. And then I like to use my fingernails because what I can do is I can push on the back with my thumb as I pull with my fingernails, just like this. And I can easily pop these covers off just like that. So if you need pry tools, you don't really need to worry about it. Just let your fingernails grow out for a few days and then you can do that. All right, so then we go along the side, same thing, just grab in there and then use your thumbs and pull it back. All right, and here you can see we got most of it open. Gonna go on the other side, same thing. It helps to kind of go along the part that's already opened if you can. And then go into the side because the gap here is kind of tight fit. All right, there we go. And then these, you kind of have to like wiggle this part around to pull it up. You don't want to just yank it up or you can actually end up cracking this plastic off. Okay, so just like that, going around. It seems like it's stuck on the back corners here, but maybe once you get the whole front around, let's see if we can just lift this and kind of wiggle it. And yep, it came out. So nice. That's pretty simple to remove. Doesn't look too dirty or dusty in here. There's some gunk stuck on the bottom here, but that's not really dust. I will just clean it out later, but for now we'll just set that aside. So inside there's a 1 terabyte 2.5-inch SATA hard drive. You can replace this with a 2.5-inch SATA SSD, which is what I'm going to do. The customer wanted a 480 gig SSD for the price, so it's not too bad right now. They're about 50-60 bucks or so. So that's what we're going to use. Excuse me. You got the battery here. So the battery, is there a model number? I don't see. Oh, here, L16C2PB2. Let me actually zoom in and make this easier to see. Okay, hopefully you can read that. All right, L16C2PB2. Oh, sorry, I'm doing a Windows install and it's talking now. Let's turn that off. All right, so there you go. All right, CPU is soldered to the board. You got this looks like the keyboard connector. It has a weird bend in it that kind of scares me. because a lot of times those sharp bends can actually damage the cables. So I'm gonna see if I can kind of get underneath there and just bow it up so that it's not such a sharp bend there. I don't know. Well, it doesn't want to move, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. Hopefully it should be okay. I think those bends got permanently like creased in there. You got the BIOS or the CMOS battery here. You got the optical drive connector here. You got the wireless card here. Very simple to remove. The antennas, you just pull the tails up. Don't try and pry from the fronts of the connectors or you can damage them. And then you just make sure they're completely in place, and then you can just push them back on. I don't want to take them out because there's some small risk that you can damage these connectors, so I don't want to do that since there's nothing wrong with it. And then there's one screw. You take that out. You can pop the wireless card slightly up like the RAM I'll show you, and then you can pull it back. But yeah, CMOS or BIOS battery, real-time clock battery. You got these two connectors here. This one is for the hard drive, it looks like, and then this is very likely for the trackpad. I'm not going to take it out, but the battery, there's 4 screws holding it in place. Oops, let me zoom out. So yeah, the battery, there's 4 screws holding it in place, and you can pop it up. The speakers just have these rubber things holding them in place, so you can pop them out like this. All right, and this cable just runs along to connect the two together. And I don't see where the speaker connects to the board, but I'm guessing it runs underneath the battery. Sorry if I went out of view. All right, you got the LCD LVDS connector up here. If you are gonna mess with this, make sure that you disconnect the battery first and then press and hold the power, open the computer, press and hold the power button for 10 to 15 seconds to drain any power. If you mess with the LCD connector and you don't do that, you can risk burning out the backlight circuit on here, or you can even damage the cable or the screen. All right, and then the DC jack or the charge port is soldered to the board along with all the other connectors. All right, so we're just going to be replacing the hard drive now. So the hard drive has this plastic piece here that you kind of push in, and once you push it in, you can lift this up. All right, so there's this piece that's supposed to latch underneath. I think it actually, so it's supposed to be pushed in and latched underneath this white plastic piece, but for some reason it's not. So actually you don't even need to push it in, just lift it up slightly. And then you can kind of wiggle this as you pull it back. And you want to be careful not to lift this connector out of there, or you can actually end up ripping this cable. So I'm just going to do that, lift it slightly up, and we're just going to pull this. I don't know why it's stuck so strongly. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. And here's the hard drive. Since we're putting an SSD, we technically don't need to transfer this thing over, but we can do it. We'll just do it anyway since it's easy enough to do. So you just pull these wings out sideways, and then make sure that you clear the, make sure you clear the screw holes. Whoa, cats are fighting outside. There we go. And there's the hard drive. Okay, so let's set that aside there. We'll get the SSD. Okay, let's grab the SSD here. So we got a 480 gig SSD here. All right, there's a Kingston SSD. Make sure you line it up the right way. All right, and then just get these plastic mounts back into the screw holes of the new drive or SSD. Since we're completely replacing this, we're gonna actually do a clean install of Windows on there. I'm not gonna show that in the video, but if you need help with that, just let me know and I'll try and send you a video of that process. All right, so we just clip those screw mounts in. Now we're just gonna line this up. Push that connector in place. All right, you can kind of hold this to help it, and then drop this down. Again, I don't know why. Normally this tab should go underneath, but it looks like they didn't put it that way, so I don't know. I guess, oh, there we go. So it's supposed to go like down and underneath this white plastic piece. Maybe that's why his hard drive got damaged. It probably popped out and then the hard drive was just wobbling up and down. But there we go, that's the hard drive. And then now we're gonna go ahead and look at the RAM here. So the RAM is enclosed or covered underneath this little box metal cover here. So what I do is I just get my fingernail underneath the cover and you can lift it up just like that. Or this one, because it's a thicker box, you can actually grab the sides and pull it up just like this. Okay, and there we go. So there's only one slot of RAM, and then there's RAM actually soldered to the board. I'm not sure how much is on the board, but the stick is a 4 gig, so probably the board is also 4 gigs for 8 gigs total. PC4 2400T. So you can replace the RAM with any size. As long as it's PC4 2400T, you should be fine. You can get a 8 gig, 16 gig. If they have 32 gig, you can put 32 gig most likely. It shouldn't have any issues. I rarely ever see capacity issues. It's more the speed and type of RAM that's the issue. So make sure you get the same speed and type of RAM, and you should be okay. All right, so we're gonna put this back. Make sure you get these metal clips here lined up. All right. Might be a little tricky. I don't know why there isn't one clip down here. They probably, I don't know if they forgot or if that was intentional, but all the rest have it. Usually there's clips all the way around. Okay, and that's pretty much all there is to it. So we're just gonna snap this whole thing back together. I think I went over all the connectors, the wireless antennas, yeah. All right, so now we're just gonna put this back on top, and then you just push the clips. I'm kind of pushing on the edges. I'm not pushing my whole hand, I'm just pushing my palms down. All right, just like that. Clip everything back in place. Make sure to get these clipped in as well. Okay, there we go. There we go. And we can put the CD drive back in. And now we're just gonna put all the screws back in. But that's pretty much all there is to this model. All right. You're welcome to stay while I put back all the screws. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe. Help others find my videos. If for some reason you comment and I don't respond, just try posting the comments like multiple times. For some reason, YouTube or Google, whoever's doing it, I don't know, the AI mastermind is deleting comments. I'd see comments, it would say that I have a comment, I'd go to respond to it, and then it would just say that the comment doesn't exist. So I'm not ignoring people. I try and respond to every comment that I see. So every comment that says I didn't respond, I actually will go in there and respond to each one. So even if it's like a dumb comment, I would comment back on it. I might do like a mean response. So try to avoid like asking things like, if I take the RAM out and then you say, how do you take the RAM out? I don't know how I would explain it through a comment better than the video. So, I mean, I'll get comments like that, like, how do I take out the hard drive? How do I take out the RAM? And then I'd basically just ask them if they watch the video, because if they watch the video, I mean, I can't really explain it better by text. So, yeah, anyways, so hopefully this video helped you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, bye. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, on these Lenovo laptops, some of them will have press enter to go into like the boot menu, recovery options, and BIOS and things like that. But for this specific model, and a lot of the new ones, they have this little logo. Let's see if I can show this. So I'm gonna zoom in here. So there's this little like curved arrow. This is the one key recovery button. So what you want to do is you get like a needle. You can use like a SIM card removal tool or something, and then just push on that little button. When you do that, the computer will turn itself on, and it will go to the recovery or the boot option. So I'll show you. So here you go, it's turning on. You don't press the power button to do this. You press the one key recovery and it will give you this. You can do normal startup, but since there's no operating system, since it was on the old hard drive, we're gonna have to go to the boot menu. So there's also, if you want to get into the BIOS or system recovery, the system recovery is linked to what's installed on the hard drive. So if I do that, it's not gonna work. So we had to create a Windows 10 bootable USB here. We'll go to the boot menu here, and it'll give you the option. So here you can see the SSD that we installed, the Kingston one. There's the Windows Boot Manager there, but it's not going to do anything. That's just remembering the old stuff that used to be in the computer. And then you can see my USB hard drive, SanDisk Cruiser. All right, and that's what I'm going to use to start up the computer, and I'm going to install Windows from here. So I have the Windows 10 64-bit and 32-bit setup. Of course, we're going to do the 64-bit, and then we're just going to go through the whole installation process here. After this, you just do all the drivers and everything. Usually Windows Update can find it. If not, you'd have to go to the manufacturer website to find the right drivers. And then, yeah. So we're going to let this run. Okay, so if you do this, it gives you this menu. Here you can see the languages. I usually just press tab 3 times to go to next because I'm lazy to use the mouse. And then I press enter to install now. And then it will pop up like the agreement window. Alright, I'll show that process. Just waiting for this. Come on. It's taking a while. Right, so wait for this starting thing, and then it should pop up the Windows license. There you go. So I usually just press spacebar. Oops, I accidentally tapped something, but normally you press spacebar, it will automatically check that box, press enter, and then I go to custom. So there's nothing there, the drive is unallocated, and then you just press enter to go next, and it will automatically create all the partitions it needs, and it will do the installation. But again, that's all there is to it. Again, hopefully this helped you. If it did, like, subscribe, help others find my videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!